Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, 4 crazy rescue dogs, 3 rescued guinea pigs, and a rescued cat, and a partridge in a pear tree. Who likes to craft in her spare time, has gone back to the school to be a certified ASL interpreter, and is trying to train for Ironman. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message, boosts my serotonin and my self-esteem, and I could use that. And if you are returning, welcome back. You already know the crazy you're in for, so grab your drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. Now, I am going to say, first of all, that I have spent the last week trying to get back into the swing of school and handling all of that. I have almost everything for the office completely caught up so that then I can work on a couple Social Security disability cases that have come in that weren't frantic high priority, like they weren't frantic urgent, and so I was gathering up documentation and whatnot, but I think we're ready on them to file, and so that's exciting. I also am finishing up on a huge probate case that I've been working 3+ years on. And it is finally ready to get paid out on. Which also means I need to get my shit together and do the billing on it, so that when the check is dispersed from the bankruptcy trustee, from probate, that I will get paid. And my pocketbook could really use that right now. I was in court this morning on a matter, and that turned out well. I'm back in court on Thursday. I have mentorship hours to do. I have so much to do. Being in order to get her financial aid for the summer had to take one more credit because her 2 ASL classes are only 5 credits. The problem is because the semester has already started, she is limited as to the classes she can take. So starting in July, she's taking a shorter class that will take her all the way through the end of August, so the rest of the semester. So it's a 10-week class, but it starts 5 weeks in, where my 10-week class starts the first of the summer and then goes to 10 weeks. Anyways, she's taking intro to ceramics because she needs the humanities credit, but I gotta tell you, I'm a little jealous. I would really like to take intro to ceramics. I think it would be a fun class. But we all know where that will lead Kelly. And that would lead Kelly down the rabbit hole of, oh my God, well then I should buy a kiln, and I would and a wheel, and I should be doing all of the clay things. And we do not need that right now. I am not saying that we won't need that in 5 years, but right now, no. Our new dog, because you heard me if you were here last week, our new dog has a name. And his name is Oreo. Why? Because he's white with black spots, but he also has black ears. And we were talking about maybe naming him Snoopy. And then a friend of ours suggested Oreo, which carries on with our alphabet mafia that we have going down as far as dogs. Because way back, I had a pit mix that we had gotten when she was 6 weeks old, named Keegan. Then we had Lizzie, we have Maisie, we have Nigel, and now we have Oreo. And Oreo's name sign is Cookie. So that gets a little confusing because sometimes I want to say Cookie, not Oreo, even though I'm signing. So that gets a little, but we're making it through. He's getting way more playful, which is to be expected. he only turned a year old in January. Now he is picking up on signs pretty darn quick. When he chills out and he's mellow, it's fantastic. But he is all up into everything. And it is like having a toddler. And I am not used to that. Because even though like Maisie's younger, Maisie isn't even a foot off the, like she's only a foot. She's a wiener dog mixed with a corgi. She's short. Like I don't have to worry about her getting up on the counters. Same thing with Nigel. I mean, like, so it's been interesting because Oreo's not much smaller than Lizzie. Now, weight-wise, he's much smaller, but like height-wise and stuff, he's not much smaller than her. So he can get his happy butt up onto my counter. Well, actually, his happy little nose gets up on my counter and onto shelves. And when he stands on his hind legs, he can get up even higher. So he's kind of, and you can't yell at him to say no because he can't hear you. So I'm constantly like we're having to get up and redirect and get up and redirect and so yeah. So between schoolwork and classwork, which would be schoolwork, office work, I did hire an assistant part-time. She's gonna start coming to my office. She's actually a friend of mine, so she's not really charging me. She just wants to do it for fun. I've actually hired 2, so that's kind of cool. So my one friend is gonna come in and just help with catching up the billing, putting in procedures and processes in the office to make things even simpler, and organizing and whatnot. Clearing out some files between her and my son. They're gonna start scanning in like my dead files so that I can purge those and get rid of those, and that would be really nice because I need the broom. And then my other friend that I hired, she's doing collections work as well as my first friend. So she's also going to be working on collections, and she's also going to take over my social media for the firm, which is fantastic. Because that does take a lot off of me, but hopefully will also drive a lot of business. My one friend can also handle like drafting some documents and putting in data, like filling out forms and doing research, not research, but filling in like forms for Social Security or for my bankruptcy clients and things like that. So that again, really ups the level of business that I can do and faster turnaround. And it just be really nice. So yeah, so fingers crossed. So yeah, let's see. My friend Tammy got her stitch from me. I did his name is Jesus, so she got her gift. So I'm very super excited about that. All that to say, I don't have much stitching to show you, you guys. The other part of that is, okay, so I didn't work on my either whip go goal for this month. I don't think. I mean, I can show you Rosie. You all know Rosie. We love Rosie. Who doesn't love Rosie? Who doesn't love Rosie? And if you don't love Rosie, well, I'm sorry, you're just wrong. Rosie is my piece that I'm doing for my friend. I don't think I got to work on it because I'm at a point where it's still very confetti heavy. So I'm doing like 2 stitches of this color, 2 stitches of that color. And so I don't make much progress. So it's hard to, when I have such a short amount of time, it's hard to really get into a groove and get much work on it. But we're coming along. I do need to pick that back up, and yeah. Enough said on that. We all know. We all know. We all know. Okay, the other one that was pulled for this month for me is Modern Folk Embroideries, the Fruit of Plenty style. This is from 2021. We don't judge on this show. When you finish it, you finish it. all I'm doing is getting my money's worth out of the sow because it's taking me longer to enjoy. And we're just going to go with that. So this is on my Whip Go board a couple times. I'm down here working on this. I am doing it mostly, so it's in 310 and, ooh, sorry. I hope I didn't make you guys sick. 646. And then I'm just adding in random pops of color. If you want to know what any specific pop of color is, just let me know and I can let you know. So I still have, I think, 6 more days that I owe this month, which means I got to get my butt in gear because, but whatever. Well, whatever. They're year-long goals. It will get there when it gets there. So I'm hoping to finish off this band and even bring down the black, so that I have that section done. We'll see. It does go faster now that I have it on Pattern Keeper and everything's programmed in. It is. So I carried it with me the other night to when I went to the school for Bean's class. But I also had Oreo with me because at that point the two dogs weren't quite getting along very well, and I was scared to leave them alone because the boy had band practice. So I took Oreo with me, and Oreo had a little bit of a hard time calming down because so much. There was also the dental hygiene program was doing their pinning ceremony, so there were tons of people, and he wanted to people watch. And when he finally sat down and calmed down and kind of fell asleep on the floor, it was fine. But by that time, class was almost over, and so I didn't get much stitching done. Because last Monday night I took him to band class with us, to the kids' band practice, and we found out that Oreo actually can bark, and he barks just like a normal dog. And he barked at this trombone player who I find rather annoying. And but other than that, he slept through band class. He slept through their entire. We were sitting literally within 10 feet of the band, and the only other noise that his ears perked up to was the cymbals. And I'm sure it was because I could feel the vibration, so I'm sure he felt it. And his ears kind of perked up, and that was about it. Yep. He is learning signs. He already knows the sign for no. He knows the sign for food or treat. He's learning the sign for sit. So it's coming along. So, the other stitch that I did work on, not much because Sunday was still kind of a crazy day. I was trying to. So the state of Michigan came up with some new requirements regarding powers of attorney, and it's not really what they've done is they've suggested that we move and merge our advanced directives in with our durable power of attorney for health, which I think is fantastic. So I am in the process. So I spent all day Sunday really working on retyping in my durable power of attorney and adding in so that it can also cover advanced directives. Now, the way they're doing advanced directives, though, doesn't include, like, I have lines in my durable power of attorneys that cover specific mental health treatments. It doesn't, so I've still got to go through and tweak it. And I have to, yeah, so that was my Sunday, and I was working on some other things. The boy child is still mowing lawns, and he's taking on lessons. So, yeah. I'm sticking to my guns. It's kind of weird. But Sunday is Sing a Song Sampler. That's by Silver Creek Samplery. I'm working on this with Tina Frazier. I'm not following the called for, and I know that somebody in the group has already asked me for the conversion, so I will write it up. I just have not had a chance to sit down and write down the colors yet. I'm working on sew, and all I did was add the 310 a needle. I know, super exciting. But that's more than I had the week before. So I'm hoping that this Sunday, I can get the rest of the words. And you know what? I stopped because, so in order to put the P in right for pulling thread, I have to do the needle. And I mean, I don't have to, but it just seems like the logical thing to do. I want to do the needle in, it's weird. It calls for, I know, because, you know, I should have just pulled it out from the start. It calls for like a weird gray. I don't know if you can tell. Okay, there we go. So it's like a very faint gray, but I'm almost thinking of changing it to either étoile or some sort of metallic. Because I just think, I mean, it's a needle and it should be shiny. It is called for in Gentle Arts Pebble, which is a light gray. So I don't know. So that's why I kind of stopped, and then I got pulled away and I was doing other things, and but it shouldn't be too much longer. I mean, honestly, I don't have that much. I have a lot on it to go. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's near done. We still have 3 more complete blocks to do. And then the phrase underneath it. But it goes fairly fast when I actually work on it, right? Famous last words. If you actually work on something, it does add up and go. Okay, the other thing that I have been working on was my Stitchy Book Club. And that was my 52 card whip pickup last week draw. This is from, April of 2021, because that was the year Kelly joined all the sales and completed none of the sales. And now 2023 is the year of let's finish this shit. Yeah. So this is what it will look like. I did have to change out. So I did follow her directions when it came out and dyed my blue fabric, which is gorgeous. Like I actually, you know, it is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I thought, and this is a me problem, not a her problem. Okay, so let's just start off with that. It's a me problem. The me problem is I thought that the blue would be more mottled, and that's completely how I dyed it, not her directions. And so I was kind of bummed about that. And then where I do have the modeling, it looks like the dye just kind of, I don't know. It didn't model very well. And again, that is a me, that was on me, not on her. That wasn't on her directions. So when I was stitching this, the blue that it calls for in the ribbon blended right into my fabric. Like you would have thought that it was the same color kind of thing. So you couldn't see it. So if you go for Crafting for Sanity, which is my friend Kim's, her Instagram, she finished her Stitchy Book Club recently as well. This one, for Sense and Sensibility. She finished it, and she had changed out and sort of did a merge of, if you were stitching it on white fabric, she gave you a color conversion. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And I couldn't find the picture of what she did, and I didn't know where she got her colors from. And I just remember she used purple for her ribbon. One moment, please. And so I just grabbed 2. Okay, so I'm lazy on some things. I just am. I hate putting away floss, even if it's on bobbins. I hate it. And I have not totally put together my system for hanging floss drops once I'm done with them. So they just go in the Ziploc bag once I'm done with it out of a project. Or if it doesn't have a number, because I have some of those too, they just go in the bag of doom. And every once in a while, Beam will go through and pull the bobbins and put them in order in the boxes. But I haven't asked her to. And so when I need a color, and this is how I'm literally like seriously, for my sing a song sampler, I start by going through this bag when I need a color. And then I move on to the boxes, and in between like at one point I had a complete collection of DMC regular threads, so chances are I have it. So this is, I know that some of y'all are super organized and meticulous, okay? And I love that for you. And I wish I was that person. I have come to the realization I am not that person. At least not at this stage of the game. One day, maybe. I don't know. So I reached in there and I grabbed 2 purples, and that's how I got my ribbon color. And my purple is in my bag because there is a couple other little ribbons. But when I started this last week, let me squish up my... All I had was the center of the pink flower, or the pink part of this flower, and I had started doing the dark beige color in there. I also had miscounted one of those, so I had to frog some and put it back in. But look, y'all, that's not bad. This became a main focus because I was like, I'm like, I think if I pushed myself and didn't flit around to 50,000 projects, I could have this done and off my whip shoulders. And I would really like to do that. I think this is one, and I've thought this all along. At first I was like, maybe I could edit some of the motifs too, because realistically, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty. It will probably end up, I shouldn't say this. It will probably end up a gift for somebody because I don't know what else to do with it. But my question, so I'm wondering though, like, look, you could hang it upside down. Then it sort of looks like a fleur-de-lis, but it goes this way. Okay. What motifs out of here could I reasonably edit out and call it finished? And honestly, I don't know at this point. If I continue, I think at all, I could probably add in these and still be okay. But if I start adding in any of this other stuff, I think I've just got to do the whole thing, right? I think that's where we're at. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. So that's kind of, and because it's so few colors, and I can just, and it's a printed pattern, I haven't even bothered to upload it to Pattern Keeper. This is one that's easy to just take and not have to worry about, a million flosses or whether or not my tablet is charged or, anything like that. It's just super easy. Because one of the days I went to the lung doctor last week. Okay. So I went to the lung doctor, and he's changing up some meds and whatnot. Right now I have no permanent lung damage. They ran some tests. I had to stay there forever, it felt like. So while I was waiting, I was working on that one. And that's why I got a lot of progress. So yeah, good news is no permanent damage. Bad news is I'm on 3 inhalers right now to try and fix some of the issues that have gone on for far too long. Yeah. Okay, so this next week, I actually have I have one more assignment to do tomorrow morning, and then for class in the evening, and then I have to just study vocab words really and prep. But then and I have physical therapy. As far as cleaning the house, Lord have mercy, y'all. I did get most of the window and the ledge all scrubbed and cleaned. Those are clean dishes. Not all of them are clean in my sink though. But you know, progress. We're getting progress. So my goal this week is, I think a friend of mine is going to come over with a long weekend and help me replace some of my subfloor, which would be amazing. And if that's the case, then I probably won't be able to get anything else done. So yeah. So we'll see. Okay. So Stitchy Book Club was last week. So this week's whip pickup for 52 cards. I still try and get in the rest of my days on or Stitchy Times on Rosie and Modern Folk Embroidery. Is the Ace of Diamonds. I think I'm going to do this again for next year. It seems like it's maybe pull out some whips that I hadn't been working on and were just lingering and gotten things finished. I really like that. Okay, so the Ace of Diamonds. Okay, for me, it's be thankful. Well, here's the thing. I've already finished that. So I'm going to be grateful. That be thankful. Yeah. Didn't I finish this? I don't have any whip on my list. Yeah, I finished this. This is either the thankful string or it was my white pumpkin, and both of those are finished. So I know I still need to pull out my sewing machine because I need to work on my Sylvia Bridal quilt squares and on my beach quilt, which really the beach quilt has got to be done by hand at this point. So I think as far as whips go, cross stitch whips this week, instead of, for me, I'm going to keep working on Sense and Sensibility and try and get that all done. And we'll go from there. So if you are playing along, whatever your Ace of Diamonds project is, we're good. Or I could work on the ABC blocks for Bruno, because I only have a stitched. I don't even have it put together as a little block. Part of the problem is that I need to cut more 5x5 Aida squares, and I just haven't had the brain power to pull out the fabric, the Aida, and cut, like measure and cut. I know that is the lamest reason ever, but that is the reality of it. That's why I haven't worked on it, because I already have charted out both the ASL, and then I am going to replace the small a with Braille, and I have figured out how to do that. But B, my animal for B, or my picture, is the blue-footed booby, and I have charted a little blue-footed booby. So, because who doesn't love a blue-footed booby? So A was axolotl, B is blue-footed booby, and I need to get at least C done before the kid is here. We'll start them off on A, B, C, and C, I'm stitching a chicken nugget. Because chicken nuggets. Who doesn't need a nug? Chicken nug. So, again, it's not your typical alphabet blocks for a kid. I don't really care. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Got called into an emergency hearing last week as well. So that threw my schedules off as well. Which really sucked because it was on a Tuesday, and it was like, so then that ate up my time for homework. So then I got marked down on an assignment because it ended up being 8 minutes late. 8 minutes. And it's going to really suck. That just means I've got to work harder to get the rest of the things done and on time or early and maximum points. Because, yeah. I did fill out. I met with the counselor at school. She sent me over my paperwork so I can fill out my application to graduate. I'm still doing Noom. If I'd stop eating the gluten again and all of that bloat and so much salt, my weight loss would go back down a little bit better, and I would be down over 30 pounds. So that would be really nice. So, yeah. I'm trying to think. That's really and truly it. So with that, I'm going to upload this. I'm going to go to bed. And if there's anything you need, please reach out to me at His Princess Kelly on Instagram. You can reach me on Facebook. You can shoot me a text message. But that's, yeah. Say a prayer that I get in. Check that I'm expecting before StitchCon, because otherwise I won't have the luxury of being able to go. I'll have to just forego my seat, I guess. Which sucks, because then I would lose it, because I can't, like, unless they can fill my spot. But I really do want to go. So, fingers crossed. And especially because I'll be able to go on Thursday. As of right now, which would be really nice too. So, fingers crossed, lots of prayers still being said. I'm going to get to work. Actually, I'm not getting to work. I'm going to upload this, and I'm going to bed as it's uploading. And I will talk to you all in the next week. So, again, have fun. Keep the prayers and the good vibes coming, because it looks like things are turning around and getting good again. So, yeah. And we'll talk to you later. Bye, all.